Welcome back to some of the best stories from r/Tales from Tech Support. I hope you had a great day. Thanks for all the likes and comments on the last video. And now let's take a look at the first story. It's called Didn't Do the Job. Poker dealers at casinos make most of their money in tips. After a hand is played, it's customary for the winner to throw $1 or $2 to the dealer, like you would tip a server. After a big hand, it's not uncommon for $5 or even $25 to end up in their hands. So it's in the dealer's best interest to do their best work, just like it is for a server. Dealers are generally only sat at a table for about 30 minutes before being cycled out, to keep things fair and to prevent any funny business. The first hand a new dealer dealt at my table turned into the best 30 minutes of poker of my life. And that's because this dealer was an absolute jerk. I won the hand, showed my cards, and tossed them into the pile. They flipped over, so you could only see the back. Now, I had won the hand fair and square, and I wasn't even required to show my cards, since no one called my bet. But the dealer had been chatting with someone who passed by, not paying attention to the game. This is strictly forbidden. He didn't see that I won, and decided to declare the hand a shop, a draw, splitting the pot between the remaining players. The others didn't complain, since they got about $30 each, but I lost nearly $90. I argued with the dealer, but he gave me a "too bad, so sad" attitude and moved on. I got heated and called over the floor manager. While he agreed the dealer should have been paying attention, he also said I shouldn't have mugged my cards before the dealer confirmed. But the thing is, we are talking about unwritten rules here. I won the pot. Everyone folded, but they refused to overturn it and suggested I was welcome to leave if I wasn't happy. But I wasn't going anywhere without getting some satisfaction, even if I had to create it. So I started playing like a maniac. I made absurd raises, was as loud as possible, still staying within the casino rules, and made sure no real poker could be played. I went all in every other hand and acted like a total fool. But here's the kicker, I kept getting great cards. So even if someone called my insane bets, I was likely going to win anyway. My goal wasn't just to mess with the dealer, but also to stop the house from earning their per hand profits. By going all in early, I forced people to fold before they could get into the game, meaning the casino wasn't making money either. Every time I won a hand, which was almost every time, I'd pull the pot toward me and stare right at the dealer. And, of course, I didn't tip him once. Out of the 40 or so hands played in that half hour, I won over 35 of them. My roommate even picked up a couple of wins too. By the end of that half hour, the dealer had worked for half wages. Thanks to me. He got called out of the poker room. 3 players left the table, and once the dealer was gone, we left the casino too. All I wanted was an apology. The next story is called Stinky Blame. Years ago, I worked the second shift in a corporate production facility. Unfortunately, I had the worst supervisor imaginable. Let's call him Mike. Mike spent most of his time in his office, either reading or chatting with his wife on the phone. When we had issues, instead of helping, he showed up annoyed and somehow always blamed me for whatever went wrong. Our job mainly involved printing tons of reports for various clients, mailing hard copies, and filing backups. It was fast-paced and exhausting, and people often called in sick, leaving us short-staffed. Of course, Mike didn't help with that either, and we had to work late most nights. One particularly bad month, things went south. Reports got sent to the wrong clients, backups were misplaced, and chaos ensued. We were a team of 6, but Mike decided I was the one to blame. He even wrote me up and put me on 90 days probation, which was totally unfair. If he had helped, none of that would have happened. Fast forward a few months, and we had a big company-wide mandatory meeting. It was packed. Day shift, night shift, and all the big bosses from the main office. The room was way too small for 30 people, and I ended up sitting next to Mike. It was hot, stuffy, and the meeting dragged on longer than anyone expected. Just when we thought it was over, someone would ask another question, adding another 5 or 10 minutes. Then the worst happened. My stomach started to rumble. I did my best to keep it in, but it was a losing battle. Once it started, there was no stopping it. Thankfully it was silent, but it didn't take long for the smell to hit the air. As soon as the first person turned around, I saw my chance. With just the right amount of disgust, I turned to Mike and said, "That's loud enough for everyone to hear." "Mike." I scooted away from him, trying to make it seem like it was all him. The room went dead silent. The meeting ended pretty quickly after that, as Mike sat there, red-faced, stammering, but I didn't. Everyone filed out of the room in a hurry. After that, Mike made my life miserable. He did everything he could to make work unbearable, but I quit before he could get me fired. And honestly, it was worth every second of it. The last story is called Work Mom. I'm 34 and I've earned the nickname Work Mom from the new hires we brought in earlier this year. It all started when one of them, G, got stung by a bee, and I had everything in my desk to help her out. It suits me because I love taking care of my coworkers, and I always tell them they can grab whatever they need from my desk or coffee nook, just to let me know afterward. G is awesome too. She's very kind, loves making connections, and goes above and beyond to be as helpful as possible. We work together really well. Our main job in quality assurance is to handle quarterly audits. Most of the time they go smoothly, but when they don't, we create data sheets that highlight issues our team needs to resolve. These issues can be as simple as updating standard operating procedures, or making sure everyone's training is current. There's one team though that always struggles with these data sheets. They are like the problem child of the company. And there's one guy on that team who's a real piece of work. I'll call him Neckbeard. G often tries to help this team, especially because she's friends with one of the guys on it. They even hang out outside of work. One day she went over to their lab with some Halloween candy from a cauldron I brought in to offer help on their 7 overdue data sheets. The team grabs some candy and G asked Neckbeard if she can help with the data sheets. Instead of responding professionally, he waves her off and says, "Be gone." The whole team, including G's friend, laughs at her. At first she thinks it's a joke and nervously laughs along, but they just laugh harder. She stops, looks at him and asks, "Wait, you are serious?" Neckbeard doubles down, saying, "Yeah, I don't need your help. I know everyone's been breathing down my neck about the stuff. So, be gone. You are dismissed," while still waving her away. G comes back to our cube, fed up, and starts gathering her things to finish the day from home. I was furious. But here's where Neckbeard really messed up. I'm in charge of tracking those data sheets and sending weekly updates to the teams responsible, along with their supervisors and managers. Neckbeard's data sheets are about to be 2 years overdue at the start of next year. Our new manager has been thrilled with my communication efforts, but apparently Neckbeard lied to him, saying he was nearly finished with the data sheets and in constant communication with us. So after calming down, I went to our QA lead and then our supervisor. My supervisor had just come out of a meeting about the problem team's overdue data sheets. So when he saw the look on my face, he knew something was up. He immediately started an email to our manager and the problem team's supervisor, detailing what had just happened. G's friend, who laughed at her, must have realized how badly he messed up, because he came by shortly after to ask if she was still in the office. I just smiled and said, "No, she left," and he cursed under his breath before heading back to the lab. That was at the end of last week. And the update on Neckbeard's situation is pretty satisfying. In our company, we are allowed to work from home, as long as we stay reachable and get our work done. But my lead informed me that the problem team's work from home privileges have been entirely revoked. They must now be in their office during set hours. unlike the rest of us who can log in whenever we please. Their planned PTO is also being denied, and they are all being written up. This is definitely going to affect any future raises they might have been hoping for. Thanks for watching the video to the end. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to leave a like, comment and subscribe. And if you have time, watch another one of my videos. Also, if you want to support me further, check out the channel membership or Patreon. And now I hope you have a great day. See you soon. Bye bye.